Mission Control, this is Mary. Come in, Mission Control. I'm getting ready to lift off. Mission Control, come in. I'm almost ready to take off. Over. Oh, hi. I'm Mary, and as you might have guessed, I love to play astronaut. I'm making my own rocket out of this big box. Isn't it cool? I like to take trips. Okay, pretend trips through outer space, and have incredible space adventures. Shh, don't tell anyone, but today I'm traveling to the sun, the first human being to ever do that. Hey, would you like to come along? Great! While I was working on my rocket, I was thinking about the sun. I have some very important questions like, what is the sun anyway? And does the sun move? And what's up with the whole day and night thing? How come that happens? And I would really like to find out how the sun helps us know what time it is.
Hello? Anybody home? Oh, good morning, Mary. I came by to visit with your mom. I have some pictures from my vacation that I wanted to see. Is she home?
Yes, Tanisha, she's in the house.
Wow, Mary, what are you making?
I'm making a rocket. I'm going to take a pretend trip to the sun. Look, here are my sunglasses because the sun is so bright. My water because the sun is so hot and I might get thirsty. And here's my lunch to eat on the trip. I'm all ready for a fun sun adventure.
Wow, this is wonderful. You've done a great job on your rocket. You know, I made one of these when I was about your age.
You did? Really?
Yeah, you know, rockets are very important to astronauts. But you know, a real astronaut will never ever go to the sun.
They won't?
Oh no, it's much too hot and everything would burn up. But it's a great place to take a pretend trip. Do you mind if I take a closer look at your rocket?
I'm so glad Tanisha came over. Tanisha's an astronomer. That means she studies things in space. Remember my questions about the sun? She'll know the answers. This is great.
Wow, you did a great job. So when's liftoff?
In just a few minutes, but before I go, I have some questions to ask you about the sun.
Well, you're certainly asking the right person. But before we get started, I want to make sure that you understand how important it is to never, absolutely never, ever look into the sun. Because the sun's light is so bright, it can hurt your eyes very badly.
Okay, I promise to never, ever look right at the sun.
All right then. Now, what is it you want to know?
Well, my first question might sound a little silly, but...
Oh, no, there are no silly questions, especially questions about space.
Okay, my first question is, what is the sun?
Well, now that's a good question, Mary. Okay. The sun is like a great big ball in the sky. It's made up of gases and it burns very, very hot. It's something that we can see up in the sky, and the sun is also a star. And it's very important to all life here on Earth.
Important to life on Earth?
Oh, yes. The sun gives us heat and light. Without the sun, the Earth would be very dark and cold. We wouldn't have flowers or butterflies, clouds or rain, people or animals. Nothing.
Okay, let me see if I understand. The sun is a big ball of hot, fiery gases. We see the sun in the sky. It's a star that gives us heat and light, and without the sun, there would be no plants or trees, or even me?
That's right. So every time we look up and see the sun move across the sky, we are looking at the one thing we cannot live without.
Why does the sun move across the sky? Where is it going?
Well, the sun doesn't really move across the sky. It just looks like it does. Let's pretend that this pot of yellow flowers is the sun, okay? I'm going to put it right there and it's not going to move. Now, let's pretend that you are the earth. I want you to walk in a circle around the sun. Notice that the sun stays in the same place in space. Now, you, the earth, orbits around the sun. Now in space, that means that the sun is the center of our solar system.
I don't get it. When I look at the sky in the morning, the sun's in one place. Then, in the afternoon, it's in another place. If the sun doesn't move, then why do I see him in different places in the sky?
Okay, let's think about it like this. The Earth spins or rotates like a great big merry-go-round. So the Earth and everything that's on it is doing the moving, but the sun stays the same and doesn't move at all. So when we move, because the Earth spins, it looks like the sun is moving across the sky. So if you pretend to be the Earth again and orbit around the sun, you will also spin and rotate as you go around the sun. Yes, that's it exactly.
The Earth sure does a lot of moving. It spins like a merry-go-round. And because it spins, the sun looks like it's moving across the sky. Does all this moving of the Earth make night and day?
Yes, it sure does. Do you remember the time that I came and visited your school and talked to them about space?
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
Do you remember what we used as a pretend sun?
You had a big flashlight that was very bright.
Okay, that's right. Very good. And do you remember what we used for pretend Earth?
You used our classroom glow because it looks just like the Earth, only a lot smaller.
Yes, that's right. We turned out the lights so the room was dark. Then we turned on the flashlight and pointed it at the globe. The light from the flashlight's sun lit up only part of the globe.
I remember. Half of the globe was light. That was day. The other half was dark. That was night.
Very good, Mary.
Wow, this is really fun. But I have one last question before I go on my space adventure.
Okay.
How does the sun help us know what time it is? Yesterday, my dad was working out in the yard. He came in to make lunch. He said he knew it was lunchtime because the sun was straight up in the sky. How did he know what time it was?
Remember that the Earth spins?
Yes.
Because the Earth is always spinning, the sun looks like it's moving from east to west across the sky. During the early morning, the sun appears to rise in the east and it helps wake us up. During the day, the sun appears above us and gives us lots of light. During the late evening, the sun gives us beautiful sunsets as it appears to set in the west. This makes the sun look like it's rising and setting every day. Then during the night, the sun shines on the opposite side of the Earth and we have darkness so that we can sleep.
Oh, I get it. As our Earth spins, the sun appears to be moving. Each day starts with the sunrise, then we have daytime. Each day ends with the sunset, then we have nighttime. The position of the sun really helps us know what time it is. Speaking of time, it's time for me to blast off. Thanks for answering my questions, Tanisha.
You're more than welcome, Mary. I hope you have a wonderful and safe trip, okay? And I want to hear all about it when you get back. I'm going to go inside now and visit with your mom for a while.
Tanisha is a great neighbor. I want to be an astronomer just like her when I grow up. While I buckle in and get ready for my imaginary trip, I'll sing you a song about the sun. Our sun gives Earth both heat and light, heat and light, heat and light. We see our sun up in the sky, big ball in space. The sun in space stays in one place, in one place, in one place. Earth spins like a merry-go-round as it orbits. Our spinning Earth has night and day, night and day, night and day. With half our planet in the light, Earth keeps moving. The sun tells us the time of day, time of day, time of day. It appears to rise and set every day. Thanks for joining me on my space adventure. I learned a lot about our incredible sun, and I hope you did too. Bye! Our sun gives Earth both heat and light, heat and light, heat and light. We see our sun up in the sky, big ball in space. The sun in space stays in one place, in one place, in one place. Earth spins like a merry-go-round as it orbits. Our spinning Earth has night and day, night and day, night and day. With half our planet in the light, Earth keeps moving. The sun tells us the time of day, time of day, time of day. It appears to rise and set every day.
For more excellent videos, call us toll-free at 1-800-262-8837 or visit our website at www.teachersvideo.com.
I didn't know exactly what was wrong, but something here did not add up.
I'm going to make interactive programs.
I'm going to help keep cars on the road.
I want to help people stay healthy.
So why
Do I?
Need math.
Afternoon, class. Pass your homework forward. Today we're going to try something a little bit different.
Looks like geometry class is off on another tangent. Mrs. Rapp's trying a new angle on math. You see, some of us wondered, why do we need math? It's like...
Excuse me. Would you like to join the rest of the class, or would you rather intersect with the principal? Can anyone help me with this problem? Mr. Peterson?
Come on, it's not like we're ever gonna need to know this stuff.
This stuff isn't just useful now, it'll help you in the future.
Yeah, someday when we have to measure angles of trajectory for airplanes.
Okay, how many of you plan on using math later on in life? Anyone?
It's not like we want to be rocket scientists or anything.
The projected trajectory of your space vehicle at an estimated distance of 33 billion miles, divided by the distance per vehicle traveled, based on the extended hypotenuse theory, it will ultimately depend on overwhelming percentages of human toil, determination, and grit.
Okay, maybe you're not going to be a rocket scientist, but you do use math now. In sports,
First one to 10 wins.
Looks like a good match here. Oh, and he goes in. 2, he breaks. 4, 6, 8, 10, and that's the game.
at home, at the store.
12, 13, 14, 15, and 5 makes 20.
What kind of job can you get where you won't need math?
I just want to pitch. Why do I need math for that?
Okay, well, what will the rest of you do that won't need math?
I want to work on the net.
Multimedia, good. Who else?
I want to take care of cars.
I want to take care of people.
So you all want to do these jobs, and that way you won't have to know math? I have bad news for you. Most jobs use math every day. All of those jobs, even pitchers.
Pitchers using math? You're right.
You don't think so?
Hey, down here.
I'll take it from here. My success as a pitcher is measured by my earned run average, or ERA. That's the percentage of pitches I throw that end up as runs for the other team.
But don't other people figure that stuff out for you?
I'd better be able to make sure it's right. My job's writing on it.
Throw the bomb out!
For instance, I multiply the number of runs times the number of innings I've pitched, and divide by the number of innings in a game. That's how I get my ERA, which is 3.8.
Ow! Throw the ball out! Aren't there other things you have to calculate?
Sure. Are you all right?
Yeah.
There are batting averages.
Strikeout to walks ratio?
Sure, baseball's a game of numbers.
Throw the ball out!
If the 7th inning stretch lasts 3 minutes and Cyril takes 1 minute to get to the hot dog stand, 1.5 minutes to get to the head of the line, 2 minutes to get his hot dog, and 1.25 minutes to get back to his seat, how much of the bottom of the 7th inning will Cyril miss?
None. The bottom of the 7th never starts back on time.
But don't forget, there may come a day when someone takes the ball away. I've got to make a living, so I went into real estate. If I didn't know math, I wouldn't know how to calculate everyday problems like interest rates for loans.
But how do the rest of these jobs need math? Like someone doing interactive programs or the net?
Take a look.
If you'd like to find out more about how math is used in multimedia, click here. When we produce video media for an interactive program, like a CD-ROM or DVD, we need to know that there's only a certain amount of storage space on the disc. Full screen, full motion video takes up a lot of that space.
And you need other types of information besides video on the disc, right?
Exactly. We need programming, background art, graphics. But if I only play the video at quarter screen, that's 1/4 the full screen size. I only take up 1/4 the storage space. I need to estimate how much of my information should be full screen video and how much should be quarter screen and how much I'll need for other things like graphics. The face of interactive is always changing.
It's constantly changing. We use math all the time for graphics in interactive programs. A computer screen is measured in what we call pixels. When I place buttons on a background, they need to be proportional so that we get a balanced, symmetrical look for the final screen. All that information has to go on this disc.
Didn't realize these things were so heavy.
Thanks.
Cars used to be pretty simple to fix, but it's obvious they're more complicated these days.
Oh, obviously.
Cars are computer complex now.
Aren't there a lot of sensors and things to tell you what to do?
Sensors just diagnose problems. We train technicians, not mechanics. It takes a lot of thought.
The computers only do so much.
Sure. For example, when we resurface or turn brake discs, we have to convert back and forth from metric to decimal inch. Sometimes the discs are metric and our equipment may only measure in decimal inch. It's more complex than you'd expect.
Oh, really?
All right, Einstein, you try this one. If a taillight sells for $78.48 retail or $47.09 wholesale, and I've got two parts houses I can go to, one that'll give it to me at a 35% discount off of retail, or the other will give it to me at 25% over wholesale, which is the best deal?
Well, if it's a tail light, wouldn't it have to be retail?
Yeah, but why?
Because the 35% off retail is only $51.01. But the wholesale price plus 25% is $58.86.
Right. Now, if an intake valve needs 8 1/1000ths of an inch clearance, and I measure it at... Is he okay?
He's just looking for attention.
I think he's hurt.
Seriously, I'll be okay. You must use math.
I need an IV drip. Stat.
You guys are really overdoing this.
If the doctor wants an IV drip over an 8-hour period, I need to be able to calculate the number of drips in this 1,000cc bag, figure out how many minutes there are in the next 8 hours, and determine the drip rate, which is how many drops of medication should flow per minute. What that does is give the patient the right amount of medication over the right period of time, and that helps keep our patients healthy.
This really isn't necessary, guys.
History would be so different if we didn't have math.
Imagine what would have happened to the pyramids if they didn't have math.
Science keeps moving forward and space travel's almost in reach. Professor, how much fuel do you think it will take to send a rocket ship into space?
Undoubtedly, based on my experience, calculation, and extensive hypotheses, I can say most assuredly a lot.
A lot?
Yes, Quite a lot.
When I place print ads, I get charged by the column inch. If this ad measures 13 column inches and the ad rate is $16 per column inch, then I need to multiply 13 column inches by $16 to determine that it will cost my client $208 to run this ad.
At an accident site, we can determine the speed a vehicle is traveling based on the measurement of its skid and by using the formula called the coefficient of friction.
Do I use math? But of course I use math. To measure the area of a pie, I have to multiply pi times the radius squared. If I am making my world-famous lemon meringue pie, and the party requires 7 pies instead of 1, I need to multiply the original recipe by 7 in order to make sure that I have the proper amount of ingredients to make the right number of pies. Oui? Needs butter.
When we're grading an area, taking dirt from one area to another, we try to balance it out so that the volume of dirt we remove from the one area is enough to fill the other. If it's not, we need to figure out how much more dirt we'll need to order.
Part of owning a business is knowing how much stock we'll need for our customers. We have to make sure that if we drop prices for a sale, we don't drop them lower than our cost of doing business, or else we'll lose money.
As a prominent video host, I have to be able to calculate my salary. Hey, wait a second.
When I get to a call, if someone needs medication, I need to calculate the proper dosage. Now that dosage is based on the solution concentration, which is the amount of medicine in the solution itself. If these calculations are not done correctly, or the medication I give my patient may be more harmful than helpful.
When I work on blueprints, it's important for me to know the scale our plans are written in. If 1/4 inch equals 1 foot, then a 4.5 inch line would be equal to an 18-foot wall. If I didn't know math, my calculations could end up all wrong. The results could be disastrous.
So, how often do you have to make calculations like these on the job?
Every day.
All the time.
Not enough butter.
Daily.
Every single day.
Every day.
Maybe, but there've got to be other jobs that don't need math. What if I want to be a rock star?
A rock star? See for yourself.
You're gonna need a little more action than just addition and subtraction. Percentages and a whole lot of fractions. These are things you'll need to know.
If a plane leaves Los Angeles for Mexico City at 2 o'clock in the afternoon going 500 miles an hour, where does the luggage end up?
Rocket scientist or rock star. Building hyperdrive or fixing the car. Start with the basics, you're on the path. From the times tables all the way up to higher math.
Hello, is this the bank? Yes, well there seems to be some mistake. I can't be overdrawn. I still have checks. What? You mean I have to balance my checkbook? Ah!
The volume of geometrics, proportions, and simple logistics. My favorite, sports statistics. These are things I'll need to know.
How? I got it all down. Multiply, divide, add, subtract. Now for some higher math, baby.
Let's visit Mrs. Rapp's kitchen.
As a domestic engineer, when Mrs. Rapp formulates lunch for her family, she estimates that all 3.5 members of her family require 38% of their minimum daily requirements at approximately 12:15 p.m., 11:15 Central. For instance, Michael will need 35 grams of carbohydrates, 50 grams
At home, I have a family to take care of. They need a balanced diet, and I have to make sure I meet their nutritional needs while keeping our budget in check, too. I have to budget, shop, and I need to keep my family's schedule on track.
I have a household budget to maintain, and my mortgage, utilities, and monthly bills get paid out of that. In our den, we have an 8-foot wall, and we wanted to put in 7 shelves. I needed math to figure out how many blocks and boards I needed to make our shelves.
Hi, I'm Les. And I'm Max. And this is Tabulation Talk. Today we're talking to people who don't know math. So let's meet our first guest. Our first guest is a young man who wants to pursue a career as a race driver. But he doesn't know math because he'll never need it. Please welcome Mickey. Welcome, Mickey.
Thanks. So, you want to be a race car driver because you won't need math. That's right, Les.
Well, let's cut to the chase. If you're racing in the Indy 500 and your average speed is 100 miles per hour, but you have a 10% margin for error, what would be your lowest possible speed?
And what would be your highest?
I don't know.
I'm sorry. Johnny, let's tell Mickey about his consolation prize.
Well, Mickey, you have not won a career in race driving, but you have gotten yourself a lifetime job at the car wash.
Mickey, the correct answer is your lowest possible speed would be 10 miles per hour less. Less?
And your top speed would be 110 miles per hour max. Max?
Looks like you don't quite know what you're talking about, Mickey.
But I wouldn't need to know that, would I?
Now, as a twist, let's bring out a young lady who would like to explore space and realizes that, yes, she will need math. Give a warm welcome to Annette. Annette joins us with a wealth of knowledge. She knows that if she wants to travel in space, she'll need at least 12 years of math. Max?
And she'll need 24 different specialty skills, no less. Less?
Maximum math, Max.
That's a lot less. Annette?
You're both right. If I want a career as an astronaut, I'll need a lot of education. When it comes to math, I'll need to know fractions, decimals, ratios, measurement, probabilities, statistics, negative numbers, other number bases, radicals, graphs, linear equations, polynomials, algebraic representations, trigonometry, vectors, imaginary numbers, factoring.
You know, statistically, 98% of you are going to need math later on in life.
Not me. I'm shooting for the 2% that'll never need it.
You used it right there.
Whatever.
Before you go, somebody, anybody, let's do this problem. Hold on, take your seats. Mr. Peterson.
Multiply your x and y there. 10 times 20 is 200. Divided by z, or 5, and that equals 40. And that's your answer.
Excellent. All of you, homework. Start thinking about math skills you'll need for future jobs. These pamphlets have tips about things you'll probably have to know.
Hey, how'd you know that?
Hey man, I have to know it. What about you and all that I'm never gonna need math stuff?
Hey, okay, so I'm gonna need math. Everybody does. But I'm not gonna let her know that I know that.
Who would have guessed math was so important?
Yeah, where are you off to?
Going home, hit the books.
A calculated move. You need it, I need it, everybody needs math. And so do you. See ya.
of course we use maths in cooking circles. Otherwise, our pie are square. Perfect.